Hello, beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back to my suite where the tea is hot, the receipts are ready, and nothing is off limits. I'm your host, Tanya, and this is Sweet Tea. Beginning of times, beauty salons and barbershops have had a special place in the hearts of the industry professionals and the patrons alike. We can all remember trips to the shop, special moments made, conversations had, and lessons learned. From politics to pop culture, the latest gossip, love and relationships, and social movements. It's all talked about. Lifelong friendships are created, networks are built, ideas are shared, and politicians are made or broken. Our power is great. Our reach is wide. This is the place where we all shine, from the beginning to the end of times. Let's keep the conversation alive. Join me in my suite from your suite, and let's talk about the tea. Do y'all like that? Beginning of Ah, do y'all like that? I worked really hard on that intro. Hopefully, you guys get the picture of what this community is. This is the community. I'm coming to you guys live from my suite, which is where I spend a lot of my day. And we do a lot of talking about a lot of things, a lot of things. And right now, as of this moment, the hot gossip is dun, 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 Kandi and Todd. Kandi and Todd, okay? And so I have been a long time Housewives fan. I can be honest with you guys, I kind of watch all the franchises for the most part. I'm not so big on Miami, but that's really the only one that I don't really keep up with. Salt Lake City, I don't really know it verbatim. I don't really know any of them verbatim, but some of them I know more than others, if you know what I mean. So, Real Housewives of Atlanta, I'm a historian. Real Housewives of Potomac, I got their number. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I know them. Real Housewives of Orange County, I know them. Real Housewives of New York, I know them. Old cast, well, not I don't know them, but I know them. I know the show. The old cast or the old show and the new show, the girls trips, the Real Housewives girls trips, all those things. I kind of watch all of it. So, and a lot of my clients watch a lot of it. And so we talk about a lot of it in the shop. So right now we've been talking so much about Kandi and Todd and their divorce. And as most of you guys know, unless you've been living under a rock, Kandi Tucker filed for divorce from her husband, Todd Tucker, her husband of 11 years, Todd Tucker. And Todd is contesting the prenup. And there's been a lot of discussion, a lot of debate online, on YouTube, on TikTok, everywhere you look, really, about the prenup itself and is it fair? Was Kandi fair from the beginning of the prenup? And personally, as a viewer watching the show, uh, I have my own opinions about it. I did do another video about the prenup, and if Apollo was in on the scheme with Todd. Is this a scheme that Todd set up with Apollo? It's pretty much to play us all. So, I have some interesting views, interesting point of views. And every time I watch it, and I've watched it several times, I've watched the wedding special over and over, and I find it fascinating now that we're seeing this play out 11 years later. But one of the other things that I started watching, or that I've watched before, and I kind of watched again, and it shows it's a really raw account of the dynamics of Kandi and Todd's relationship is Todd in the Glam Squad, where Todd, Kandi's husband, has conversations with Kandi's Glam Squad, her hairstylist, her hairstylist Jody, and her makeup artist Tay. And they talk about all kind of things relationship wise, but when you're looking at it in hindsight too, it's really a lot of conversation that I think he probably wanted to have with Kandi, and he wanted us, the public, to see her point of view on it, and not only us, but her friends too. I think he was trying to get someone to side with him and to kind of see where he was coming from in a lot of these videos. And if you watch them in hindsight, and then you think about the prenup and the way that it's set up, it really makes you wonder. So one of the things that Todd gave up in the prenup was equitable was his right to equitable distribution of community property. That's a big thing, okay? So that means that, see, normally in normal circumstances, which you make before the marriage would be your separate property. A lot of times inheritance that you may get during the property or winnings from lotteries or things like that, you could deem as separate property. But what you make during the marriage, what you earn during the marriage, is oftentimes considered community property. The things that you purchase with that money that you have earned during the marriage is considered community property. But the way their prenup is set up, he has waived his right to equitable distribution of community property. And a lot of people say, well, what's wrong with that? Kandi's money is her money. Ty's money is his money, right? Like, he's a grown man. He had the right to work. He had the ability to work, and they just don't understand why he would even want part of her money, right? But I want you guys to think about this from a perspective. Let's take gender out of it. Let's just take the fact that he's a man out of it and the fact that she's a woman out of the whole situation, okay? And I want you guys to think about just sacrifices, okay? So, and ask yourself, has Todd been sacrificing more than people realize? Has the support he gives Kandi become an expectation instead of a choice? Because oftentimes in marriages that happens, right? You have one spouse that, just maybe doing well, or maybe the breadwinner, as compared to the other spouse, but the other spouse still makes sacrifices for that to happen, right? Whether those sacrifices, or they vary from household to household, but they still make sacrifices that contribute to the overall household. So the question is, has Todd been sacrificing more than people realize? Okay. Has the support he gives Kandi become an expectation instead of a choice? That's what I want us to ask ourselves. Because oftentimes as women, we can honestly say that the support that we give our partners, sometimes we feel like it's taken for granted, and sometimes we feel like it becomes an expectation. So we've been there. So if we take gender roles out of this, if we take our genders or sexual anatomy out of this, if we take the fact that Todd is a man and Kandi is a woman out of this, and we think about it from a neutral standpoint of just sacrifice made towards the marriage, I want us to really examine it from that point of view, okay? So the question is, has the support that he gives Kandi become an expectation instead of a choice? And if that support comes at the expense of his own career, does that matter legally? Okay. Spoiler alert. Dun, dun, dun. It does, especially in Georgia. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but again, y'all, I can do research. I'm not a dummy either. I'm not an attorney, but I'm not a dummy, okay? So certain things just make sense to me. I guess I too, because I'm a Libra. So the sign of Libra is balance, and it's the balance scales. So we tend to think of things from all point of views. We tend to want things to be balanced and just and right and fair. And I can't tell y'all how many times I heard in school, that's not fair. That's not fair. But I'm like, well, why can't it be fair? Like, if we have the power to make it fair, like, let's just make it fair, right? Like, that makes sense to me. But maybe because I'm a Libra, I tend to look at things from that standpoint anyways. So it's not surprising to me that if the sacrifices he made were at the expense of his own career, that would matter legally. So again, it does in Georgia. And I'm not an attorney, but I have common sense, okay? And I'm fair at heart. I'm fair. I am. Okay. So it says, okay, we're going to get into all of that today, but first let's look at what Jody said. Jody from the Glam Squad, because keep in mind, they spend so much time together. Kandi's Glam Squad. Again, we have Jody and Tay. Jody's the hairstylist, and Tay's the makeup artist. And they, I'm assuming they travel with her. They get her ready for, definitely they're in Atlanta, because the Glam Squad, a lot of the episodes were taped from their home. Now, later on in the series, they started taping from a studio. So I don't know what that was about. I don't know if Kandi was like, keep your stuff separate. You got that studio, go ahead and use it. I have no idea. But I do know that later on they stopped filming from her house. Okay, so what I want you guys to see in this scene, this was a scene where Tay and Jody were getting Kandi ready for something, and they were talking about partners being taken for granted. Okay, and I want you guys to see what Jody had to hear what Jody had to say. Jody is the hairstylist, and the reason I'm asking the question is of will the Glam Squad testify is because the Glam Squad is around them quite often, right? So the Glam Squad can testify to the sacrifices that they have personally seen Todd make, and they can testify to the requests that Kandi may have made of him. So the Glam Squad, even though they're employed by Kandi or to do work for Kandi, um, they really could become a witness for Todd if it got that far. If he had to start, if it came to them having to go to court because he is contesting the prenup, and them having to, if the prenup is overturned and he is allowed to have access to a more equitable distribution of community property, he would have to, it could be possible that he would have to go to court and to plead his case and to say, that he sacrificed his own career. So we're going to see what Jody said and what's on YouTube and what's out there for the public to see, and what she said in just the candid conversation, and how it would work out in Todd's favor or Kandi's favor. And we're going to see. Okay, y'all? So let's get into this. Cut the mic on it.
Other people so
Okay,
much
hold
that
on,
they
y'all.
think that
Hold on, let me
that's
rewind it.
only how it should be. So when it's time,
I want to rewind the whole thing so y'all can see it from the beginning. Here we go. Here we go.
I don't feel like I would take you for granted. Like, I don't know about that one.
Sometimes, girl, because otherwise you're saying you're perfect. You ain't.
yeah, sometimes you
I'm not saying I'm
do.
perfect. I mean, I may be imperfect in other ways, but I don't think my imperfectness is falling into the I take you for granted.
But yeah, taking you for granted. Do you give me? You want me to give you examples of how that happens? Because sometimes people don't even know what that means.
You don't want
Go
to give
ahead.
no examples.
Go ahead, Tucker.
No, you can give me an example.
No,
Give me
you just
example.
wanna say
You're
it.
talking about,
I'm-
like, for example, when she expects you to go places with her out of town and stuff like that. That's taking it for granted, like, because that's an expectation. Sometimes you do stuff so much that it becomes expected instead of appreciating.
I think that's part of it. Sometimes you might pour yourself into other people so much that they think that that's only how it should be. So when it's time for them to pour into you, they don't give you the same energy, or they're not totally in tune. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't feel like I would.
Did y'all hear that? Y'all want to hear it again? Y'all want to hear it again? I know y'all do. Let's play it again because I kind of messed that up anyways. Let's hear it again. This is very important, you guys. I don't know what the... Wait a minute. Okay, yeah. Okay. Want to make sure my mic is still on. Y'all, this is like my second time doing the video. So let me tell y'all this too. If y'all like this video so far, give me a thumbs up, please. And subscribe to my channel. Right now, I think I'm at 73 subscribers. I'm itty bitty micro. I want to be big. I want to spread this network and have these conversations, these real conversations like we have in the hair salon. So y'all go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel. Please. It would mean so much to me. I'm begging. Let's hear this again. And y'all, I got some, like, I'll be doing my research and I'll be knowing what I'm talking about. Like, I know it's all alleged. Y'all see the thing at the bottom of the video. It says subscribe, comments below, commentary is alleged, and for information and entertainment purposes. So, but your girl is like, I'll be watching I watch the show. So I'm not just like on here just commenting or making commentary videos and don't really know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I watch the shows and I've been watching them and I can look at things from a different perspective sometimes. And we have these conversations in the salon. I know y'all probably have them with y'all's girlfriends and in y'all salons too. Invite your hairdressers, invite your barbers. Let's see what the men have to say. That's what I would really like. Let's grow this whole community. Okay? Let's hear it again, y'all.
I don't feel like I gotta take you for granted. Like, I don't know about that one.
Sometimes.
And I want y'all to watch Jody's face in the video too. I just want y'all to watch her face. Like, watch her facial expressions. Watch Kandi's facial expressions.
Girl, because
Sometimes-
otherwise you're saying you're perfect. You ain't.
Yeah,
I'm
sometimes
not
you
saying I'm
do.
perfect. I mean, I may be imperfect in other ways, but I don't think my imperfectness is falling into the I take you for granted.
But yeah, taking you for granted. Do you give me? You want me to give you examples of how that happened? Because sometimes
Now, listen to this. So Todd was going to give an example of how that happens, and Jody jumps in with her own example. So whether or not Jody and Todd had talked about this before, or this is just Jody adding her 2 cents, but it's very important what she says, and it sheds a light on the dynamic between Todd and Kandi's relationship and the sacrifices that he may have made that we may be discounting.
people don't even know what that means.
You don't want
Go
to give no
ahead.
examples.
Go ahead, Todd Tucker.
No, you can give me an example. Give me an example.
You're talking about, like, for example, when she expects you to go places with her out of town and stuff like that. That's taking it for granted, like, because that's an expectation. Sometimes you do stuff so much that it becomes expected instead of appreciating.
I think that's part of it. Sometimes you might pour yourself into other people so much that they think that that's only how it should be. So when it's time for them to pour into you, they don't give you the same energy, or they're not totally in tune. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Y'all, I didn't even catch that last part until just now. Well, stuff I didn't even really catch it to dissect it. But what Todd is also saying, he's not just saying that he has made sacrifices for Kandi's career, or Jody's not just saying that he's made sacrifices to be on tour with Kandi and that Kandi may be taking that for granted. But Todd is saying that sometimes when you pour so much into someone else's career or into someone else's projects, and it's time for them to pour into yours, you may not get that same energy back. And that's important because according to what Kandi wants in the divorce, Kandi wants Todd to leave the marriage only with what he made. What he made during the marriage and what he came into marriage with before. When I say what he made, what came in his name, what he was a part of. She doesn't want him to get a part of anything that she made or any product that she did without him during the marriage. Not before, we're talking about during the marriage, but would be considered community property. So if Todd sacrificed his own career for Kandi's success, does that mean that he's entitled to marital assets? The answer legally might surprise you. And again, I'm not an attorney, but I did my research. So let's break it down. Georgia is not a who made more state. First thing people don't understand is that Georgia is an equitable distribution state. Again, Todd waived his right to equitable distribution in the prenup. But if the prenup is overturned, we're looking at him getting a divorce in a state that is an equitable distribution state. So that means the court does not ask who bought home a bigger check. They ask, what did each person contribute to the marriage? And contribution doesn't just mean money. Career sacrifice is a contribution. In Georgia, courts recognize staying home more, raising kids, running the household, supporting the other spouse's career. They recognize those things as marital contribution, giving up business opportunities, putting personal goals on hold. They recognize those things as real, valuable, marital contributions. Okay? So if Todd can show that he turned down jobs, that he slowed down his production career, that he took on childcare and household duties, or that he supported Kandi's demanding schedule, then the court sees that as part of the machinery that helps Kandi's career thrive. So we're talking about her being on tour for months at a time, and him, according to Jody, being with her on some of those tours, being traveling with her. So if he's traveling with her and it's kind of become an expectation that he does, then that definitely is going to slow down his own career. And that's definitely going to mean he's turning down jobs. And if you don't believe me, honey, it's been going on. I don't even know when this was when that episode of Todd and the Glam Squad was filmed, but I'm assuming it was filmed in the last 3 years, because I think he started Todd and the Glam Squad maybe during I think the videos go back like 3 or 4 years. So, but I have a video too, you guys, from an interview that Kandi did. Kandi did this interview in January, the January before they got married. Okay, so they got married in April of 2014. This interview was done in January of 2014. So I want y'all to listen to what she says in this video.
Everybody's self-employed and able to do that.
And now he's for
let me rewind it for y'all so that way it's right, and I'll make sure my volume is all the way up on it. It is. Okay, here we go. Listen to what she says in this video, okay, you guys?
was a couple job offers that came for him to go work on some shows that would have taken him out of town. And I was like, okay, you would rather go work for them, a company, because some people like the more secure situation, know their check is coming every week, instead of taking the gamble of.
Not everybody's an entrepreneur. Not everybody's self-employed and able to do that.
And now he's since he's been in television or whatever, he's been constantly, you know, working on different projects, working for companies. He used to work for BET for some years and some more other companies after that. So for him, he's used to that steady flow of, he know when his check is going to come then, right there. But of course, you know, if you're an entrepreneur and you go gamble on a project, you don't know if it's going to be successful. You want it to be, but if it is successful,
the reward is much bigger.
Yes. So I kept saying that to him, but people on that were watching the show, they were hitting me on Twitter, you need to let him be his own man. And I was like, I want him to be his own man, but I want him he really wants to work for himself. So why shouldn't I be, you know, the cheerleader for, hey, work for yourself?
So did he take the?
We did it together.
Okay.
And it turned out successful, and we are going to be releasing the DVD for A Mother's Love in April.
No, I'm saying, did he take the other job though? Was he?
No. He passed up on the other job.
Okay.
And then, and let me tell you, you know, it was.
Did y'all hear that?
A couple jobs.
Did y'all hear that? He passed up on the other jobs. I'm gonna play this one more time. But basically, in this video, what Kandi is admitting to, and this was 3 months prior to their marriage, was that Todd had other job offers that she convinced him to pass up. This was in 2014. This Glam Squad video, it's like, let me see, I'm gonna get the date of that Glam Squad video that where Jody said made the comment that she made. So it was definitely years later, y'all. So the point I'm making, okay, so the Glam Squad videos are like from 2 years ago. If I go to Todd Tucker TV on YouTube, which is where that video came from, shout out to Todd Tucker TV. Y'all go check it out and see the video, the whole video for yourself. That video, let me see, I'm not sure which one that was from. I think it was the one, do you put your kids before your husband? But you guys, these videos are from 2 years ago. Those videos are from 2 years ago. So 2 years ago would have been 2023. This video is from 2014. So that's at least 9 years of Todd on the road with Kandi. I don't know how often it was, but there's another clip. I'm going to find it where they were in a kitchen. It was a scene. They were like in a kitchen, and she was fussing at him about getting his office space and him not wanting to go on tour with her and escape. It was like a 3-month tour. So how much time was he really sacrificing? Let's listen to this video again, you guys, to this clip again, just so y'all can hear it again and get the details. Listen to it from a neutral standpoint, and then think about what the prenup is saying today, and if you guys really think that it should be upheld. And if it, I mean, there's a lot of receipts and things online that are going to work in Todd's favor.
Offers that came for him to go work on some shows that would have taken him out of town. And I was like, okay, you would rather go work for them, a company, because some people like the more secure situation, know their check is coming every week, instead of taking the gamble of.
Not everybody's an entrepreneur. Not everybody's self-employed and able to do that.
And now he's since he's been in television or whatever, he's been constantly, working on different projects, working for companies. He used to work for BET for some years and some more other companies after that. So for him, he's used to that steady flow. He know when his check is going to come right then, right there. But of course, if you're an entrepreneur and you go gamble on a project, you don't know if it's going to be successful. You want it to be, but if it is successful,
the reward is much bigger.
Yes. So I kept saying that to him, but people on that were watching the show, they were hitting me on Twitter, you need to let him be his own man. And I'm like, I want him to be his own man, but I want him he really wants to work for himself. So why shouldn't I be, the cheerleader for, hey, work for yourself?
So did he take the?
We did it together.
Okay.
And it turned out successful, and we are going to be releasing the DVD for A Mother's Love in April.
No, I'm saying, did he take the other job though? Was he?
No.
Nah.
He passed up on the other job.
Okay.
And then and let me tell you.
Okay. So here's the argument that Todd's lawyers could make. While Kandi traveled and toured and filmed and produced, Todd was the stability. He held things down so she could be available. His sacrifice allowed the family or the marital wealth to grow. And legally, that's valid. A spouse who makes non-financial sacrifices is still seen as contributing to the creation of marital property. So, businesses were also created during the marriage. And let's say this too. Let's go back to that play that she spoke of in that video, Mother's Love. I also read somewhere that play was not that successful. They toured 7 cities in Georgia, got picked up for a national tour, and then it was canceled because of unforeseen circumstances, and one of those being slow ticket sales. That was written in a publication online in reference to with the show's investors or producers, not producers, the investors had said about the national tour and why it was canceled. Okay, so businesses were created during the marriage, and that's important. During that marriage, Todd and Kandi opened Old Lady Gang, Blaze Steak and Seafood. They had multiple television projects, including Kandi's ski trip, or Kandi's family ski trip, Kandi's wedding, Kandi and the Gang. They had a Broadway production. They have a Broadway production team, and expansions into branding and entertainment. If Todd paused his career to support these ventures, then he's entitled to some of the money. And so those ventures, I believe that Kandi has no problem with giving him a portion of, because she said anything that they did together that he would get a cut of. Oh, y'all, my face is getting chill bumps. It's so cold out here. I don't know where y'all are at, but right here where I'm at right now, it's like 50 degrees outside. Does anybody else's face do that? I'm the only person, me and my son are the only people I know whose face gets chill bumps. I'm gonna cut this heater on. I have like a little fireplace here in my suite because it's kind of nice and cozy for my clients. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna cut my little fireplace on so I don't freeze. I had it on earlier, but I didn't want y'all to hear the humming in the background. But your girl is freezing. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so cold. So what I was saying was Kandi didn't have an issue. I don't think she has an issue with him getting a portion of those businesses, because clearly those are projects that they did together, and he had to put up a portion of the money for those projects, I'm sure, as well, because he said something about that, or they said something about that in another project. Like, he had his money, she had her money. So I don't think that Kandi was just funding all of Todd's projects 100%. I think that he was putting up a financial contribution, and so was she. And then they probably were splitting the profits according to that financial contribution, I would imagine. So whether it was 50-50 or 30-40 or, sorry, 30-70. 60-40 or whatever the case may have been. Who knows? But I don't think that she's arguing that he should get a part of those things. So she's also arguing that he share the debt of those things too, right? So that means, so we all know that Old Lady Gang closed. One of them closed and Blaze Steakhouse closed. So if they close, I doubt that they close with in the green, with money in the bank. You know, there was articles about disputes between them and the landlords for at least one of the restaurants. I'm not sure if it was both or not. So if they were in the hole, then she wants him to share the debts on those. And I'm not sure how the checks from the Kandi's wedding and Kandi's family ski trip and Kandi and the gang, like, who knows how those were split. But I did see that movie though last night that definitely said Todd Tucker production and Kandi Coded Productions, called The Pass. I don't know if y'all seen that or not, but go see that, check that out if you have not seen it. I saw that on Tubi last night, so it was free. And you guys, it was written, I don't know if it was written by them or not, but it's their movie. Okay, so go see the movie, watch the movie, and then y'all look at this from that perspective too. They got so much out there. They have made so much money off of their relationship that now we have so many receipts and so much video evidence and so much documentation to form our own opinions on about their relationship. So I hate for them that it's so public, but at the same time, I can't feel bad about speaking on it because they gained financial gain from us being in their business. So as we continue to be in their business, I'm sure Kandi gonna write a song or they're gonna have a stage play or something about it. So I don't feel bad about it, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be ugly or anything, but I think that it's okay. So y'all don't feel bad either. Just keep on watching. Keep on watching Sweet Tea. I'm going to have all kind of videos. You guys, I'm so excited that I finally figured out this dang StreamYard a little bit. So it'll just get better from here, I promise y'all. So again, like and subscribe and watch me grow. Let's grow together. Let's grow together. Okay? So let's see. So if Todd paused his career to support any of these ventures, you guys, or those businesses, then the income for them are marital assets. So even with a prenup, Todd can still claim rights. A lot of folks think that a prenup stops everything, but here's the truth. Prenups do not automatically protect new businesses, income earned during the marriage, ventures that grew because Todd was helping behind the scenes, assets created through joint effort. If Todd sacrificed his career and supported the family so these businesses could exist, Georgia courts can say these assets were created during the marriage. Todd helped build this. And judges look at fairness. If one spouse's success was made possible by the other spouse's sacrifice, the court tries to balance that. And that's only the right thing to do. Again, you guys, if we take gender out of this, then we take sexual orientation or sexual assignment or whatever we want to call it. We take out the fact that they are male and female, woman and man, boy, girl, lady and gentleman, however you want to word it, okay? If we take that out of it and we think about the fact that here we have, before they even got married, you know, her wanting him to and encouraging him to and convincing him by her own words to turn down production jobs. That was his career. His career was as a producer. So if you're convincing him to turn down jobs in his career and to gamble on you all and your own business venture, she admits that they're a gamble. So in those things, in a gamble, sometimes you're going to win, sometimes you're going to lose. Like, you know, who knows? But she wants him to share those debts. I'm assuming they was losing as well as winning sometimes, and that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. So if Todd can prove that he missed career opportunities, that he stayed home more, that he supported Kandi's schedule, that he worked inside the businesses, or he put his ambition second, the judge may say he deserves a share of what grew from that sacrifice. So what could Todd receive? That's the question. Depending on how strong his evidence is, Todd could be awarded a portion of marital earnings, a portion of business value from ventures created during the marriage, buyout rights, ongoing support. And I think that that's the one that Kandi is really trying to avoid. She does not in any way, shape, or form want to give this man anything on an ongoing basis, not child support or not spousal support. Well, I'm not going to say she doesn't want to give him child support, because she did say in her petition that she would leave that up to the courts. She did say that. But when he turned around and asked her primary custody, she was like, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. Let me get it. Let me get that. Let me get those kids. So he could be getting ongoing support. So that would probably be in the form of spousal support, especially if he continues to stay home and hold it down and provide the stability for the quote unquote family, which is, half of the family and him. Well, half of the family is their 2 children. Him included would be 3/4 of the family. So if he can provide stability and stability for her work schedule, because without him being able to provide real stability for her children, it would be very hard for her to commit to projects that are 2 years out, 3 years out, whatever. And Kandi is just getting started. Kandi's about to start a whole new chapter in her career, and who knows where this is going to push Kandi Burruss to, because we all know that her pain becomes her projects, and then her projects become her profits, and her profits become, the what is Kandi Burruss, the woman that we see before us. I feel bad that this is happening to her in a way, but I also think that fair is fair, and that's what the courts are going to look at. So he could get equity in any businesses that he helped run. He can get a share of income streams developed while married. You understand that? A share of income streams developed while married. So if she had a project that she produced while married, or that she was in while married, that she started while they were married, that was her project that she's going to get royalties from, he could very well get a share of those income streams if they were developed while they were married. And that's true even if parts of the prenup still remain enforceable. So does Todd have a legal case for marital assets based on career sacrifice? What do y'all think? I think he absolutely does. Georgia law recognizes non-financial contribution just as strongly as financial contributions. If Todd can show that he gave up career growth so Kandi could expand hers, the court may treat him as a 50% partner in the success that happened during the marriage. And that would be a nightmare for Kandi. My God. And the thing about it is, it really wouldn't be that bad in the big scheme of things. You got to give him half of, they say, a reported $30 million, I mean, but that's not, she really wouldn't have to give him half of 30 million, because a lot of her wealth was created before she got married, and I don't think that any royalties that she gets from those things would be included in this. But we're talking about things that were developed or created after the marriage. Okay, so I don't think that he would be getting half of her of the things that she did before they got married. Those things should be protected in the prenup, as well as her home. I would think the home, maybe not the equity, maybe not the, I don't know. Again, I'm not an attorney, but I have seen, but I'm not an attorney, but I'm a hairdresser. And so hairdressers know a lot of stuff, because we have clients from all walks of life. Okay. And we talk about all kinds of things. And so even with talking about this at a Christmas party I went to this past weekend with a woman who has 20 years in family court, an attorney with 20 years in family court that is actually running for judge. We talked about the details of this. She said that we have a couple of different things here. First of all, we have to deal with if the prenup itself is valid. So, and just the fact that Kandi's attorney had conversations with Todd without his attorney being present, while knowing that he was represented by an attorney, is not only an ethical violation, but it's grounds for malpractice, right? And so if that's the case, and the prenup is thrown out because of that, if the prenup is thrown out because of that, so that's one case. And then we have the case of what exactly is he entitled to. And then we have the case of who's going to get primary custody of the children. So there's three separate battles going on here, or three separate potential battles going on here. But at the end of the day, it could be settled. It could be settled. Kandi could realize what Kandi could say to herself, you know what? As bad as I tried to protect myself and my assets, as much as I hate to give this scrub anything, as played as I may feel, right is right and wrong is wrong. And Kandi could look within herself and be honest and say to herself, the truth of the matter is, I did tell this dude to turn down those jobs. That did impact his career. I did really want him on tour with me. I did throw a fit when he protested. I did those things. And there's video evidence of it on YouTube and all over the internet, you know. And again, you made money, you made profits from those videos. You made profits from that evidence that now might be biting you in the butt. Man, that sucks. Like, you literally made your wealth. You literally made your wealth making videos, making documentation, making content that is now going to be the very evidence that cost you your wealth. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. The love of money is the root of all evil. Let me go ahead and finish this, you guys, because it's getting kind of long. We're at 42 minutes so far, and I got to go. So, Georgia law recognizes non-financial contributions just as strongly as financial contributions. And if Todd can show he gave up career growth so Kandi could expand hers, the court may treat him as a 50% partner in the success that happened during the marriage. You know, so y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you guys think that Todd made sacrifices, and should he share the assets that were built during the marriage? Do y'all think he shares the assets? Y'all think he should get a share of the assets that were built during the marriage? Y'all let me know in the comments. Again, like the video, subscribe to the channel, help me get to my first 100 subscribers. I would be so happy if you did. Thank you guys so much. And from my suite to your screens, thank you guys for sipping this tea with me. Stay beautiful. Until next time, beautiful people.